Hello, welcome to the Torch University. I hope you're having a wonderful, lovely, blessed day as always. So, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to enjoy the video. Make sure you hit the Cash App if you decide to. Anything is appreciated. My pockets are not looking their best right now. But we speaking it into existence. I'm going to be abundant. I'm going to be vibing. I'm going to be all that. But without further ado, let's get into this. Find your own style. Find your style. Whether that be clothing, whether that be hobbies, whether that be interest, passions in life, the foods you like, the places you like to go, the activity you like to do, the jobs you want, the careers you want. Find your style. You don't have to be like everybody else. Because everybody else wear Jordans, now you gotta wear Jordans. Because everybody else eats steak and lobster, now you gotta eat steak and lobster. Find your style. Now, in our world, we're naturally built, like, from a biological perspective, every human on the planet has something within us that says we want community. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel a part of a group. Because, but before we had, phone just fell down, but, stuff happens. We gonna keep pushing on regardless. Let me set this back up. Before we had all the modern things like the guns and the swords and medicines and cooking, like the stoves and the microwave and the ovens, we had to run out there and fight lions and fight animals and hunt bear and hunt wolf and buffalo. If you were not a part of a group, you were not going to survive. Like, you really would not survive if you were not in a group. Because how are you, one person, take the strongest man, strongest woman, strongest whoever you want to pick on the planet, put them one-on-one fight, bare hand, lion. They not winning. No. They can't run faster than a lion. They can't jump faster. They can't bite faster. They don't got claws. They're not stronger than that lion. The lion weigh more. The lion is able to climb. Yeah, I'm pretty sure lions can climb. But you get my point. One-on-one, before we had community, before we had groups, before we had your school table, for example, you got your friends at your school table. Now, if you don't have your school table, most people, you're going to feel excluded. You're going to look around and be like, oh, there are people over there, and there are people over there, and there are people over there. And they're going to be looking at you because you're the odd one out. Now, me personally, I don't really eat with people when I'm at lunch. I eat by myself. I go out in the hallway and eat mine. But that's a whole different story. I just don't like being around a bunch of people. So, before we had community, you would not survive. So that's why we have that built-in, I need community. Or, not necessarily that you, as we get older, we realize, we don't really need community in our modern sense to survive, but we do need stuff like job for the money to have the house. We need a family structure. Maybe we want a romantic partner. We don't need one, but we might want these family. We might want these relationships. We might want the people around us. But at our core, we are social animals. We need companionship of some sort. You can get that companionship completely from yourself. I'm a person who I really, really love my own companionship. Like, I love my alone time. So, other people, they love being around their friends, their family, whatever. But with that out the way, now we can get into how this really plays out. So, because we want to fit in, we often will do things to fit in. That is why certain cultures, they all shave their head, or they all have braids, or they all wear these certain clothing that identifies them. So you might go somewhere like Africa. You have different tribes, different ethnic groups. Some people have different face markings and tattoos that identify their group. Some have different clothing that identifies their group. Like the traditional clothing of China and Japan is different. And you can identify that. Like, if you see somebody wearing a kimono, you would assume, okay, that person is from this group. You see a group of people wearing kimonos, you would say, okay, they're in a group. You see a group of people wearing basketball shorts and Jordans, they're in a group. You see a group of people wearing tuxedos and black shoes and ties, they're in a group. So we all have the desire to be in a group. And we do things to fit into the group. Like, it would be kind of odd to see someone in the basketball shorts and the Jordans with the kimono group, or someone in the kimono group with the tuxedo group. So we want to fit in. And because of that, and we do these things to fit in, it can often lead us to doing things we don't even want to do to fit in. Like, I don't like wearing kimonos. But if I'm like, I want to fit in so bad. I want to fit in with them. Then I'm going to do these things to fit in. I'm going to wear the kimono to fit in with the kimono group. But that leads to, as I just said, doing things you don't want to do. And when you're doing things that you don't want to do, you're being inauthentic to yourself. So let's say it does work. And now you're fitting in with that group. You're now part of the kimono group, the Jordan group, the tuxedo group, whatever group you want to be in. Now you're part of this group that you don't even really agree with. You don't even really like. It's like if you just want to be with somebody so bad, like this girl, this guy in your class, you want to be with them so bad, so you get a different hairstyle, you start dressing different, you start walking different, you start talking different, you start doing all these things to get this person or to get in this group that you don't even actually agree with, and your true self, your soul, your heart, your all that doesn't even align with that group. So now you put on this whole act, you put on this costume, you put on this garment to fit in with this group or to be with this person, and it's inauthentic. So they don't like who you are. They don't like what you are. They like what you pretend to be. They like what you present yourself to be. Like, let me show y'all my outfit. Perfect example, right? I like to dress like this, okay? I dress in so many different ways. I might dress like this. I might dress like in a tuxedo, in a suit with no tie. I might dress in blazers. I might just come to school, you know, just vibing in a t-shirt and some sweatpants. I might come in my pajamas. I might come to school, you know, just with this right here, you know, just vibing out at the schoolyard, relaxing. So now you have a different impression. You have a different view of me based on this right here compared to when I was wearing that. So let me sit that down. So now I might fit in with a different group. I might fit in with the basketball group because I'm wearing the wife beater shirt. I'm wearing, these aren't Jordans, but let's just say these were Jordans. Now I'm fitting in with the Jordan group. I'm fitting in with the Puma group. I'm fitting in with people who wear this clothes. I'm fitting in with the jean group. And it's not because I want to fit in with them. It is because that is what I'm aligned with. Clothing is just one aspect. Clothing is just one aspect of style. Finding your style. Now move into hair, okay? Look at my hair, right? We got, it's unperfect. We got one over here that's way longer. We got ones over here. We got stuff back here. My hair is a style. My hair style. Find your style. Some people do buzz cuts. Some people keep themselves bald. Some people do braids and dreadlocks and twists and mohawks and mullets and afros. Find your style. And to find your style, you just try different things. Maybe all your life, you've been forced to dress this way. Or you've been forced to have this hairstyle this way. Or you've been forced to believe these things. Or be with these people. Or, oh, you have to marry a guy like this. You have to marry a girl like this. Or you have to be this thing. You have to listen to this music. You have to go these places. You have to do these things. Your whole life, you have been forced and conditioned to be what somebody else is telling you to be, rather than who you really are. Now, that leads into the question of how do you find out who you really are? You have to find that out. You have to try new things. you have to think within yourself. Like, you have to go, why? Why? Why do I dress like this? Why do I wear t-shirts and basketball shorts? Well, growing up, that's all was around. My family dressed that way. My friends dressed that way. The sports team I'm on dresses that way. Okay. But do I want to dress that way? Maybe you really do. Like, maybe that's really what you're aligned with. Like, you actually genuinely enjoy basketball shorts and t-shirts. Oh, but let's say you don't. Well, not really. I've never tried anything different. Well, I've never tried anything different, so I should try something different. Let me try, maybe instead of red shirts, I'll wear a green shirt. Yeah. So you wear a green shirt. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Okay, I don't like the green shirt. Okay, let's try a different outfit, okay? Let's try some different shoes. Maybe instead of Jordans, you wear Pumas, okay? Ooh, I like the Pumas more, okay? I like Pumas. I like Pumas more. So you start wearing Pumas. Now, everybody else is like, ew, Lawrence, why are you wearing Pumas? Why aren't you wearing Jordans like everybody else? Well, I like Pumas and you like Jordans. You have to have the strength and the backbone and fortitude to know, even when somebody challenges you on who you are and what you believe in and what you are, to stand up and understand that this is me. This is me. The shoe is not me. I'm just saying that's an example. This shoe could be symbolic of your beliefs, the religion you identify with, the social circle that you surround yourself with, the quality of relationships you have, and what you allow and don't allow, your character, and not a character that you put on for other people, but who you are, who your character is. My character is me. My character is not what you want me to be or what you say I should be. My character is me. Now, let's take that even further, right? Now we've gotten into dressing, like the symbolism of dressing. That I'm just taking this layer by layer because this is deep. You also might have to realize certain things just don't align with you. And that's not a problem. In a way, knowing that is a blessing because most people don't understand that. They don't realize that about themselves. Certain things do not align with you, and that's not a problem. Like, some people are not meant to be mathematicians. Some people are not meant to be doctors. Some people are not meant to do these things, not because they can't do it. Like, they might have the knowledge, they might have the skill, they might have the technique, they might have the book smarts, but it's not what aligns with them. Like, I don't enjoy certain things. Like, and it's not that, oh, I'm lazy, I don't want to apply myself, I don't want to try. This does not align with who I truly am. And when you do something that doesn't align with who you truly are, that's when it stresses you. That's when it tires you. That's when it becomes painful. That's when it becomes hurtful to your core because it's not in line with who you are. This is not what you're here to do. I personally believe that everyone has some higher purpose that we are put here to achieve in our lifetime. And if we do not achieve that, it hurts us. We start thinking, oh my gosh, I could have, I should have, I would have, if I knew, and it tears you down because you're not doing what you're meant to do. You're not in alignment with who you truly are. But the problem is, if you don't know who you are, how are you supposed to be in line with who you are? Because you don't even know. It's like driving blind. You do not know how to drive. You are not meant to drive. You are blind. You are not supposed to drive a car. However, you might have really good hearing. You might have really good hearing. So instead of trying to drive this car, you go do something along the lines of music. Like, you could pick out music notes perfectly because your hearing is so insanely good. Maybe you can teach people Braille. In case you don't know, Braille is like, if you go to a bathroom, at least in the US, under the sign, there's just like little dots. All these like little dots. That's for blind people to feel it, and they can tell what that says because Braille is like it's its own language. All the little dots correlate to letters, and that's the simplest way I can put it. It's its own little language. So maybe you teach people how to do Braille because you're good at that. Maybe instead of trying to be a mathematician, you embrace who you are and you become creative. You make YouTube videos, you make art, you make music, whatever. You align with who you are. You find your style and you know your style. So because you know your style, somebody else can't come along and say, oh no, be this, wear Jordans, wear kimonos, wear this, do that, be this way, go these places. And that leads me to another thing, places, right? Environments. Certain environments you are not meant to be in. Certain environments you are meant to be in. And I believe, and I have seen in my own life, call it God, call it the universe, call it Muhammad, Allah, whatever you believe in. Call it whatever you want to believe in. Some sort of higher power seems to put things a certain way so that the things you are not meant to do, the environments you are not meant to be in, it gets you out of there. Or it doesn't even let you in there in the first place. And you might see that as stress, like, oh my gosh, why aren't these jobs calling me back? Why aren't they helping? Why aren't they supportive? Why don't these people like me? Why doesn't she want to date me? Why doesn't he want to be with me? Why don't my friends, why don't this, why don't that? Why doesn't my family? You might see that as an issue. But in reality, it's because that's an environment you're not meant to be in. You just haven't realized it yet. For example, I was trying to get all these jobs, okay? I was trying to get a job at McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Macy's, Target, ShopRite, Rite Aid, PetSmart. Nobody called me back. No call back. I went to in-person interviews. I went to, the online applications. I had the qualifications. I had the credentials. I was free on the time. I had availability. Oh, Chick-fil-A too. I applied for all these jobs. I was applying left, right, center, square, A, B, left, right, triangle. But then, I applied for this job it's the one I currently have. I applied for the job at this forest, right? Being a tour guide. And then, I get the email. I get the, okay, here's the availability, here's the time, here's when we are available, here you can come to do the interview. So I'll go in, I do the interview, everything's cool, everything's all right. I get out, I'm feeling great. I'm like, okay, I put in a great interview, I put in the work, let's hope this works out for me. Some time goes by, and eventually I get that job. They call me back, they say, hey, you're hired, we just gotta get the process going. So, that one is in line with who I am. That one is in line with who I am, my core. I like nature. I like teaching people. I like guiding. I like leadership. I like these things. I like to lead. I like to be a guide. I like to help. I like to inspire. I like to motivate. I like to do these things. But as a cook in a fast food restaurant, I can't really do that. I'm in this little cramped space, flipping patties. I'm on the register. I'm mopping. I can't really guide. I can't really teach. I can't really do that. I mean, I can do it to an extent, but I can't really embrace it how I can at this job. So, I'm gonna just hold it now because wind blew it over. But what I was saying with that, at this job, now I can embrace who I truly am. I can embrace what I am. And it's not that this job allows me to embrace who I am outside the job. No, you can embrace who you are outside the job, in the job, left, right, center. But if I'm working fast food, I can't really do it to the same extent. I can't really lead. I can't really guide. I can't really inspire how I can when it's just me and these people and I'm pointing out over here the deers and over here we got some raccoon prints. And if we stay quiet, you can hear the birds. And if we look down, we can see the clear woods of the creek. There's a frog laying some eggs, and the tadpoles are swimming, and there's birds. I can't really do that if I'm working fast food. So the universe has a funny way of going, that ain't for you. That ain't for you. Not to hurt you, not to stress you out, but to let you know, like, hey, you're not meant to do this thing. This is not for you. You can try as hard as you want. You can do as much as you want to try and get it. And it'll say, nope. And you'll be like, well, what is for me? What should I do? And it'll be like, you already know the answer. If you ask yourself long enough, you'll figure out the answer to a lot of your questions. Like, Lawrence, why am I so anxious around people? Do you hang around people? No, I don't. Do you try talking to people? No, I don't. When you're at school, do you say something to your classmates? No, I don't. Do you go up to people on the street and say, hey, I like the outfit, my name's Lawrence? No, I don't. What do you do? Well, dang, I don't try talking to people. You already knew the answer. Why? You didn't have to ask me. You didn't have to ask me to get that answer. You just had to ask yourself enough questions. Perfect the art of asking yourself questions. Yeah, that's another video I'm gonna make. You have to be able to ask yourself these kind of questions. You have to know what you are, who you are, where you're going. Find your style. Find your style. Find the environment you're meant to be in. Find the clothes you like. Find the people you like. Find what you stand for. Like your principles, as in, I do not stand for, I'm gonna just think of something random. I don't stand for hating on people for trying their best. Okay? If somebody trying their best, I don't hate on them. If you're trying your best, I'm not gonna hate on you. I like to stand by that. Because let's say you on a basketball team, right? You're the worst player on the team, but you showing up to practice the most. You be in the gym the longest. When you're training, you be running extra hard, like you be putting in that work, you trying your best. You are trying your absolute best. You are working your tail off. I'm never gonna hate on you. I'm never gonna hate on you. You can miss all the shots, but if you trying your absolute best, I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna throw any type of dirt on you. I'm not gonna throw any kind of hurt on you because you are trying your absolute best. Maybe I might say that here's some way you can improve. If I know how you can improve, I might give you a suggestion. Like, I see that you taking all the shots, you really putting in the work, but maybe you need to grab the basketball this way, or maybe you need to try this method, or you need to improve this thing. I'm not hating on you. I'm not hating at all. I'm throwing constructive criticism. I'm saying, okay, I see you're working hard. I respect that, but you might be working hard in the wrong area. Like, you might have the shot. But you don't got the proper hand holding. You might not have the proper dribbling. You might not have these certain things. I'm not a basketball dude, so I can't really go deep on that. But I'm just using that as an example. We might want to be certain things. Like, we might say that, oh, I want to be a basketball player. Why? Because I grew up watching Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Stephen Curry. So, what is it about basketball that you enjoy? I don't even really like basketball. I just want to be like them. Why do you want to be like them? Well, they got money, they have status, they have fame, they get all the girls. So, you don't want to be a basketball player. You want those things. Oh, yeah. Now, you can get those things. There's nothing wrong with having them. But it's about if the way you're going about it and getting it goes against your style, who you are, your principles, your moralities. You can get all the money. You can get all the women. You can get all the cars, the clout, the fame, the status, all that. But you're going to hate your job. Like, a perfect example. Being an accountant. Being an accountant pays very well. It pays very well. Being a brain surgeon pays very well. Very well. Being a stock trader. Being a construction worker. Being just any job you want to think of that pays very well. Deep sea welding pays very well. Very well. However, do you want to sit at a desk doing numbers 8 hours a day? You don't. I mean, maybe you do. I actually do know a guy who he wants to be an accountant. Do you want to be cutting people's heads open for 10 hours straight, no sleep, and you gotta be absolutely perfect and not select the wrong thing and get a person a coma? Maybe that's too much pressure for you. I mean, 300,000 sounds great, but is it a 300,000 that you enjoy having? Like, do you enjoy how you get it? Because you're going to go to work dreading it. You're going to hate your job. Some people love accounting. Like, some people, they do math for fun. I don't understand it, but they do math for fun. They're just 10 hours straight. 10 hours straight. A plus B equals C. 10 hours straight. They love it. I don't. Some people like being underwater for days at a time, welding. There might be sharks down there. There might be all type of different unknown animals that could eat them down there. They love it. They're just... They got oxygen tanks, so that's just me, you know, just trying to make it a little funny. Some people like landscaping. They're just cutting bushes, digging dirt, planting seeds. Some people like going out in forest. They're like, look at the birds, look at the water, look at the bears, look at the crows and all that. Some people love what they do. And one person might make $100 an hour. They make $100 an hour. Very, very, very good money. $100 an hour. However, they hate their job. They hate their job. They got $10 million in the bank, but oh my gosh, I gotta go to work. They hate their job. Another person might have $25,000 in their bank account. $25,000. And they love their job. They love their job. They're a janitor at a middle school. They love their job. They love mopping. They love cleaning. They love, you know, people walking by and they're going, hi, John, have a good day in class. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Tony. Hi, Lawrence. Hi, William. Hi, Tyler, Terry, Rebecca, John. Have a great day at work. They love their job. They love doing that. They make $10 an hour. 10 times less than the other person, but they love their job. They're so happy to go to work. They're so happy to clean. They're so happy to mop. Another person might hate doing brain surgery. They might hate being an accountant. They might hate being a doctor, a lawyer, a mechanic, a construction worker, a daycare worker, a teacher, a factory worker. They might hate it, but they make more money. So because they're doing something that's not their style, because they're doing something that goes against who they are, goes against their core, goes against their principles, goes against their morals, goes against all of that, they live a life that they hate. And when you don't know your style, you end up living a style that's not yours. You end up dressed like these people because you want to fit in. You end up going to these parties that you don't even want to go to. And that leads me to another thing, right? Me personally, I am not a party person. That is not my thing, okay? Teenage parties, all that, not really my thing. I mean, ironic I say that, given that I'm planning on going to prom, but that's a different story. Just something like, hey, Lawrence, let's go to my house party. We're going to have 500 people there. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. Nah, not my thing. Not my thing. Y'all can have y'all thing. I'm not shaming it. I'm not disrespecting it. I'm not throwing dirt on it. I'm just saying, I got my thing. You got your thing. I like going to the forest and talking to trees and deer. You like going to parties and doing backflips off tables. You got your thing. I got my thing. You got your style. I got my style. If I lived this party lifestyle, if I lived this different style, I would hate it. I would hate it. Like, you expect me to be around all these people all day? No, I hate it. However, if this party guy lived my style, if he lived my lifestyle, if he had my hairstyle, if he had my fashion style, if he had my thought style, my mindset style, he would hate it. He'd be like, bro, why am I looking at a tree all day? Why am I trying to look at deer and the water and the river and the animals, and why am I trying to write, and why am I trying to do this, and why am I trying to cook different foods? I hate this. It's so quiet. It's so boring. Where's the people? Where's the fun? Where's the party at? So my style is completely me. That's me. My style worked for me. Your style worked for you. You can do your thing. I can do my thing. And like I said, when you try to do my thing, you might hate it. When you try to do their thing, you might hate it. You gotta do your thing. You gotta be yourself. You gotta be your life. Like, and if anybody try to shame you, if they try to say, oh no, that's weird, oh no, that's goofy, that's strange, don't listen to them. Don't. They're not to be listened to. Those are not the kind of people you want to have around you. Because the kind of people you got around you, it says a lot. The kind of people you got around you, if you see a dude or a girl and she always got all these friends who they out clubbing all night, they doing shots and they addicts and they doing this and they doing that and they doing all types of wildness. What you gonna think that guy, that girl is? I'm not saying no label. I'm not saying, she this name or she that name or he this name or he that name. I'm not saying any type of name. I'm just saying, what do you think the character, what do you think the habits, what do you think the lifestyle of that person is? Because if all your friends are alcoholics, more than likely, somebody else gonna think you an alcoholic because that's who you roll with. That's who you roll with. And I'm not saying that, you gotta have certain friends so other people think of you a certain way, or you have to be around these people so these people think you're like those people. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the kind of people you have around you is important because that's who you start to become like. If you're around people who are unmotivated, undisciplined, unmannered, uncivilized, it rubs off on you. And you're around them, and they're living this kind of lifestyle, and it starts to rub into yours. Or, it is possible you get to a point where it doesn't rub off that much, but it still rubs off regardless. Like, they might say, hey, you want to hang out? And you might be like, yeah, sure. You hang out with them, let's just say once a month, 12 times a year. And y'all go do something that's not in line with your lifestyle, not in line with your character. Like, y'all go to a party. One time a month, 1 day out of 30. That's 12 times a year. Let's say you're friends with them for 10 years. That's 120. 5, 60. 2 years, 24. So 24 times, 60 times, 120 times, you have done this thing knowingly and completely aware that it goes against your morals, your principles, your lifestyle, you. It goes against who you are. And because you have done this, it starts to get in there. And it's little bit, just a little bit. Like, I would give you 1 pound. Like, let's say you laid back and I sat 1 pound of weight on your chest. Just 1 pound of weight. Just a little 1 pound. If you got something that weighs about a pound, lay it on your chest. 1 pound ain't that much. It's not that much, right? Now, I put 20 pounds on you. Ooh, you start to feel it. I do 40 pounds. Ooh, 80, 120. Oh my God. 120 pounds, that's a kid. You got a kid sitting on your chest. You got a little brother, little sister, had him sit on your chest. It might sound weird, but you're going to get an idea. That 120 pounds, oh, that hurt. That hurt. 120 pounds on you. Each pound, that's one time you went out there and you did this little thing, this little itty bitty thing that went against your character. Ooh. And when you get that weight off of you, then you know, if I hadn't have done that, I would have been so much better off. If I hadn't went to that party, if I hadn't went to that club, if I hadn't done that. And you gotta take that, and you gotta take it as a learning lesson, because in life, we're not perfect. We are not perfect. I'm not saying you gotta be perfect. I'm not saying that every single itty bitty thing from 12 in the midnight to 12 next midnight has to be absolutely perfect, absolutely flawless. I'm not saying you gotta be Jesus. I'm not saying you gotta walk on water and be without sin. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm just saying is, you have to do what is with you, right? If you got friends who are not in line with who you are as a person, I'm not saying they gotta do the same things you do. I'm not saying they gotta act the same way you act. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that y'all have to be aligned, right? If I'm creative and you're not, okay, I could let it fly, but if I'm creative and I'm hardworking, I'm disciplined, but you uncreative, you don't got a job, you are lazy, you're a bum. When I say bum, I don't mean money. I'm not talking cheddar. I'm talking wisdom. I'm not talking pockets. I'm talking wisdom. I'm not talking finances. I'm talking wisdom. I'm talking what's up here, not in your pocket, not in your wallet. I'm talking what's in here. Because you can have skinny pockets, you can have a little wallet, but that mind, you got a rocket. And you're going to blast off. You're going to the top, baby. You're going to the moon and back. Now, if you keep letting these type of people around you, if you keep letting bums and bozos and hooligans and scallywags around you, that's what's going to rub on for you. That is what's going to be you. So, you got to find out what you are, who you are. And when you find that out, you got to stick to it, okay? You cannot let somebody else come in here and push that away. You can't let somebody else decide and determine who you are. What do I look like saying you can tell me what I am, what I can be, who I am, what I deserve, the thing that I can bring to the table, the thing that I am capable of? Who are you to tell me what I can be, especially when you don't know you? Most people don't know who they are. So when they come in your life and they try to say, oh no, you can't be that. Oh no, you're not good enough for that. Oh no, you're not smart enough. Oh no, you're not proud. You shouldn't be proud of yourself. Oh no, you're not creative enough. Oh no, you're not hardworking enough. They don't even know themselves. They don't. They are bozos. They are goons. They are scallywags. They are whatever we're going to call them. They are not meant to tell you who you are. They are not meant to tell you what you can be. Because how can I determine who you are? Answer that. How can I determine who you can be? How can I determine what you should be? How can I determine what your clothes should be? How can I determine what your religion should be? How can I determine these things for you when I don't know me? But because I know me, I know who I am. I know how I dress. I know all these little things about me because I took the time to get to know me. You have to take that time to get to know yourself too, right? We'll spend hours, weeks, days, months, years of our life knowing what Kanye West up to, knowing what Kim Kardashian up to, knowing what Rihanna, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Ariana Grande, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, let me think of some actors, Johnny Depp, who's some other ones, football players, basketball players, Dwight Evans, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, Lil Uzi Vert, We'll know what all of them up to, all them. We'll know what they up to, but we don't know what we up to. We know what she up to. We know what he up to, but we don't know what we up to. I see a problem there. We spend 5, 10, 15, however many hours you spend on your phone, scrolling on Instagram, knowing what your friends up to, knowing what this person you follow on Insta is up to, knowing what these celebrities up to, knowing what these actors up to, knowing what the president up to, knowing what the senator up to, knowing what the government, the House of Congress, the Senate, all that. We know what they up to, but we don't know what we up to. There's an issue there, because if you're always focusing outside of yourself, if you always looking at what the next man doing, if you always looking at what the next woman doing, if you always looking at what the next person doing, you don't take time to look at what you doing. Like, oh my gosh, how does he have so much money? How does she have so many friends? Or how does he have all these girls who like him? Or how does what are they up to? What is she up to? What is she up to? What are we up to? And how are you supposed to know yourself? How are you supposed to know your style? How are you supposed to know your mission? How are you supposed to know your purpose? How are you supposed to know all these things about you when you don't take the time to know you? And as I began this with, when you don't know you, you start to become what other people want you to be. If you don't know that you like Pumas, you're going to wear the Jordans just so that you can fit in with people. If you don't know that you like to wear suits and ties and buttons and cufflinks, you're going to wear the basketball shorts and the jean jackets and the kimono and the black shoes and the red shirts and the green shirts to fit in with people who you aren't even. You're not them. Okay? You are not meant to be a part of that group. Not in some like, oh, you don't belong. Oh, you don't deserve to be with them kind of way. No, it's that you are not meant to be in this group. I am not meant to be an accountant. I am not meant to be a brain surgeon. I am not meant to be these things. So if I try to be these things, I will look goofy. I will look goofy doing numbers. Okay, I will look goofy trying to be an accountant. I will look goofy trying to be these things because I'm not meant to be these things. You have to realize that about yourself. You have to realize you are not meant to be certain things. You are not meant to live certain lifestyles. You are not meant to go certain places. You are not meant to be around certain people. Not as a you don't belong, not as a you don't deserve them, not as a you're not good enough. Maybe they're not good enough for you. That's possible. That's possible. Maybe they're not good enough for you. Maybe millionaires have millionaire friends for a reason. Maybe broke people, I don't just mean, as I said when I mentioned being a bum, I don't say broke and I don't say bum to say money. I don't say that to mean pockets. I don't mean that to say wallet. I mean that to say your knowledge, your wisdom, all that, all the mental stuff. Broke people as in mentally broken, spiritually broken, physically broken. And by physically broken, I might mean not like, oh, your body is amputated or something. I might mean you don't take care of your body. You don't take care of your teeth. You don't take care of your skin. You don't take care of your body. You don't eat right. You don't sleep right. You physically broken. So physically broken people, mentally broken, as in you don't love yourself. You don't feel proud of yourself. You don't embrace yourself. You don't feel authentic. You are lying to yourself. People like that tend to hang around people like that. There are exceptions, okay? There are exceptions. But generally speaking, people who are millionaires have millionaire friends. People who are billionaires have billionaire friends. People who are broke have broke friends. People who are trying their best have friends who are trying their best. People who are certain ways, generally speaking, have friends or be around people who are similar to that. Now, right, you can have friends who are very different from you, right? You can have friends who are very different. Me, I have friends who are very different from me. You look at me and you're like, oh, he's a black man. I have friends who are white women. I have friends who are Asian women. I have friends who are Hispanic. I have friends who are tall. I have friends who are short. Okay? Now we're just on the physicals, the mental side. I like forest. I have friends who like being nurses. I have friends who like cooking. I have friends who like skateboarding. I have friends who like all these different things. Now, we are similar enough in the sense that we have things that align with each other. Like me and my skateboarding friends. We have a love of skateboarding. We have a love of photography that we share. We have a love of similar things. So when you know yourself, another thing that comes is you don't just become one thing. You don't just become a box. You become so many different things, right? I am not just a guy who makes YouTube videos. I'm a guy who likes to make art. I'm a guy who likes to skateboard. I like to take pictures. I like nature. I like working out. I like to cook. I like to take care of animals. I like to do so many different things. But because I like so many different things, I'm not one thing. You can't look at me and go, oh, he's just that. You can't just say, oh, he's an artist. I mean, I am an artist, but I'm also an author. Oh, he's an artist and an author. I'm not. I also like to skateboard. Well, he's the artist, author, skater. I'm not. I also like to cook. So he's an artist, author, skater, chef. I'm not. I also like to take animals. So he's an author, animal carer, skateboarder, artist, painter. What? I'm not one thing. And when you embrace yourself truly, you realize you too are not one thing. You're not just a mother. You're not just a father. You are a mother who is a nurse, who is let me think of some other things, a cook, because you know you gotta cook for your kids. You are a photographer because you like to take pictures of your baby. You are so many little different things. You might not be a professional at them. You might not be a pro, but you are these things. By definition, you are these things. Like, by definition, I am a photographer. By definition, I am these things. I might not have a degree in it. I might not be a certified specialist, but I am still these things. Anybody who takes pictures and put thought into that picture, technically speaking, is a photographer. They are a storyteller. They are trying to share a message. Maybe it might be this moment. Maybe it might be an upcoming event. Maybe it might be marketing. But they are so many different things. And when you are these different things, and you realize that you're these different things, you can start to tap into them. You can become fluid. You can become so many different things. It's like water, right? You have water. I put water in a cup. It's a cup. But I take the water out and it's water. It goes wherever the water wants to go. I pour it on the ground, it seeps into the ground. I put it into a glass, it's glass. It's in a glass cup. I evaporate, it becomes clouds, it's a cloud. I put it into the body, it becomes saliva. I put it into the skin, it becomes sweat. I put it into the eyes to make them clean and clear. I put them into the mouth and I scrub, it cleans my teeth. Water and you are similar. You are fluid. You can be so many different things. Like simultaneously as this water is in a cup, it's not a cup. It's taking the form of a cup. But the water itself is just water. I'm me. I'm just me. I might take on the form of being an author when I write. I take on the form of being a speaker when I turn on this camera. I take on these different forms. And I'm not trying to be any of these. I'm not trying to become. I'm not trying to act. I'm not trying to put on a front. I am just these things. It is my style. I don't put on clothes and go, you know what, today I'm going to be a businessman. Today I'm going to be a rapper. Today I'm going to be this or I'm going to be that. It's not an act. I just am these different things for myself. And I embrace them. Some days you see different sides. You might see more or less certain things. You might see different things you hadn't seen before. You might realize that, oh, there's all these different layers. When you know yourself and you know yourself well, you realize there are so many different layers to who you are. The world tried to tell us, oh, you can only be this. Oh, you can only be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Islamic. You can only be these things. Well, what about people who are atheists? What about people who believe in different things? What about people who have religions that instead of worshiping a god, it worships nature? What about cultural traditions where instead of burying the person, you cremate them? Or you do different things? What about them? What about people who say, oh yeah, perfect. You can only be a Republican or a Democrat. You gotta be one or the other. Well, what about the Green Party? What about people who don't vote? What about people who just aren't that? What about people who are different than Republican or Democrat? What about them? The world tried to tell you that you have to be these things. Oh, you're either this or you're that. You're this or that. You are you're white, black, or something else. Well, what if you are black and Asian? Well, you're Blasian. Well, originally that wasn't on the list. That wasn't there. It was just other. What about if you're black and white? Ooh, you can't be that. No, we can't have that. But you are. You are this and you're that. You might have certain views that are Republican. You might have views that are Democrat. But you're not a Republican or a Democrat. You're a mix of both. You might like to wear suits and ties, but you also like to wear t-shirts and jerseys and wear sports clothes. Ooh, no, you can't be that. No. Because that goes against the system. And the problem is, when you start to think, when you start to go against the system, well, that's when they come after you. That's when they start coming after you. Look around, right? Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Marcus Garvey. Do I need to keep going on? You get the point. And I mean, I get that all the people that I might have just listened there were black, but the point still stands. I'm just using that as, when I make these videos, I just make them as they come to my head. You can be who you want to be, right? Your style does not have to be anything that is already preset. It doesn't have to be a predefined thing. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm a basketball player. Well, I mean, I also like to play football. I'm neither of those, by the way. I'm just using this as an example. Maybe you're a basketball player and you like football. Oh. Ooh. So, do you play basketball or do you play football? I do both. Ooh, no. Well, who do you sit with at lunch? I sit with the basketball people. But I also sit with the football people some days. Ooh, no, we can't have that. You go against the system. It's basketball players versus football players. Well, I'm neither. I got no hate for either. I love both. I like the basketball players and I like the football players. Ooh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And the people telling you that, as I keep telling you, more or less, they probably don't even know themselves. They probably don't even love themselves enough to realize that. Because how can you tell me what I can be? You're not me. I can't tell you what to be. Okay, if I was Muslim, for example, if I was to be Muslim, I can't tell you that you can't be Christian. I cannot do that. I don't know if there's something in the Quran saying that you can't do that. I'm just using that example because the way I personally see it is this. If I am me, and you tell me what I can be and what you tell me I have to be goes against me, if you as a Christian tell me I must be Christian but I am Muslim, and I'm Muslim, and I tell you have to be Muslim, we're going to get nowhere. We're going to argue back and forth about whose God is more worthy and whose God is more important. When in reality, your God is your God. My God is my God. If you believe in Jesus, if I believe in Allah, if you believe in worshiping nature, and this person believes in Buddhism, and this person believes in all these different things, all these people believe these different things, I don't have to be any of those. I can be my own little thing, right? I can be Muslim, I can be Jewish, I can be Hindu, I can be all different things. But I am me. If I am me and you are you, let's just agree that you go do your thing, you go to the church, I go to the mosque. You go pray to the forest, I go pray to Allah. You go worship your little shrine, I go to the synagogue or the mosque. I go do my thing, you go do your thing. My style does not have to be your style does not have to be my style. If I lived your life, I would hate it. If you lived my life, you would hate it. If I tried to be a basketball player, I would hate it. If you tried to be an artist, you would hate it. And maybe it's possible that you might try a new thing, like you might go, ooh, that looks kind of fun. Like, that looks fun. Let me give it a shot. And you give it a shot and you end up not liking it. That's not a problem. You tried, you realized, okay, that's not for me. That's not for me. It's not an issue that it's not for you. It's actually a good thing that you know that, because you realize that's not for me. I'm not meant to do that. That is not in line with me. And you have to keep in mind, what's not in line for you is not in line for you. If I don't want to dress this way, if I don't want to wear certain clothes, and you force me to wear them, I'm not going to wear them. I'm going to rip them things off and I'm going to wear what I want to wear. Now, obviously, there are certain situations where you have to dress and behave certain ways, such as you don't go to your job in a bikini unless you work on, like, the beach. There are situations where dressing one way in this job is acceptable and not in this other one. Like, if you go to court in a bikini, they're going to be like, ew, what? Get out of here. And if you go there in a suit, they're going to be like, ooh, yes, Mr. Harris, Miss Jones. Yeah, Miss Jones, Miss whatever your last name is, Mr. whatever your last name is. But if you go to the beach in a bikini, they're like, oh, yes, Mr. Harris, Miss Jones, Miss Sarah. Now, if you go to the beach in a suit and tie and you're a lifeguard, they're going to be like, yeah, that's kind of weird. You're going to swim in that? You're gonna swim in that? You're going to run across the beach in some high heels? But at the same time, you go to court in a bikini, they're going to be like, what? You're going to represent me in a bikini? You're going to conduct law in a bikini? And the clothes don't make the person, but there are agreed upon constructs in the way of you have to dress certain ways in certain jobs. That's a story for a different day, though. But your style remains the same, right? The way I talk remains the same. The way I dress, the way I am, it remains the same. Who I am at my core is the same. Certain people might see different sides of that, though. Like, you might behave differently around your job than you do around your family. You might behave a little different around your friends than you do around your kids. You might behave certain ways around certain people, not because you're trying to be like them, not because you are trying to fit in with them, but because in being around them, it brings out different sides of you. It brings out different elements. Like, on a date, you are in date mode. You have the romance going, you have the charm, you have those things going. However, in a business meeting, you have the straight back, the posture, the professionalism. You're not trying to be different people. You are your own complete person. These different settings bring out different elements. This relationship, this love, this dating, it brings out romance. It brings out chocolates and teddy bears. This business meeting, it brings out how are we going to conduct our business? How are we going to apply for the job? How are we going to behave in this meeting? It's professionalism, and in the other is romance. If you go to a business meeting and you show up with teddy bears and you say, oh, manager at McDonald's, I'm so in love with you and I want to marry you and be with you for the rest of my life, they're going to be like, what? However, if you go to a relationship, a date, and you're like, I am applying for the position of cook. What? Now, if you go to a relationship with Sarah, I'm so in love with you and you make me so happy and I want to be with you for the rest of my life. She's going to be like, oh, Lawrence, I love you so much. Yes, let's get married and start a family. But if you go to the business meeting with professionalism and you have well-dressed, you got your uniform on, they're going to be like, yes, Mentor Harris, we would love to hire you. You would make a great fit for our team. Different people, different situations bring out different elements. You're not trying to be something. You're not changing your style to be that. You're not changing your style to become something you're not. You are just adapting. You are being fluid. You are conducting. You are expressing different elements, right? When I'm skateboarding, I'm expressing skater. When I'm doing photography, I'm expressing photography. But I am not a skater or a photographer. I am both. That is what being a full, complete person is. That is your style. That is your lifestyle, your hairstyle, the way you dress, the way you take care of yourself, your mental health, your spirituality, your clothing, your environments, the people you're around, the experiences you have, all of these things, what you enjoy, your hobbies, your passions, your morals, your character, the way you conduct yourself, the way you talk, the thing that drives you in your life, all these different things. That is your style. I hope that y'all love this video. I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed day. Always remember, be you. Love you. Don't try to be nobody else. They are them. You are you. She is her. You are him. Him. Hemi Jones. Hemi Neutron. Hemi Turner. Him. Church song. Him. You are him. You are her. You are you. Be you. I hope you had a wonderful, lovely day. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. I would highly appreciate you donate to the Cash App. Pocket's not looking so good. In this video, we an hour in. Oh my gosh, I'm really going off. But yeah, just be you, right? And that got one last thing for y'all, right? When you're passionate about what you do, when you love what you do, like I said with the janitor and the mechanic and the doctor and the accountant, people who love their job, people who love what they do, it's not really a job to them. It's not really a job to them. It's just getting paid to do what you love. It's getting paid to do what you would have previously done for free. Like if you love to make art, you would make art for free. You just get paid to sell it. I make these videos for free. I just get paid to do them. I don't get paid yet, but I'm speaking into existence, you know all that. I'm speaking that into existence. I'm bringing it forth. But yeah, when you love what you do, you could talk like this. If talking is your thing, if speaking, if making videos is your thing, you can do what I just did. You can go an hour straight. I'm not saying you gotta go an hour straight to know that you love it. I'm just saying that you can make a bunch of videos. I got like 72, I think. You can make all these videos. You can have these different topics. You can have different things to teach. You can have different things to say because it's you. It's who you are. It's what you're passionate about. It's what you love to do. And if you are a cook, you can make the most marvelous meals. If you are an accountant, you can do the best taxes. You can do all that. Be you, love you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye-bye.